Hello again, folks. Skullgun140 back for another Transformers review, and still continuing on with reviewing the things that I got from Auto Assembly this year. Just kind of winding it down a little bit now. But of course, we are looking at, as the title above will kind of really tell you, but I won't give too much away from it as of yet. We are looking at, of course, a very well-known and easily quite popular icon in Transformers. With every protagonist, you have to have an antagonist, which is the main reason why in most series you have Lion-O and Mon-Ra from Thundercats, and another example is He-Man and Skeletor from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. The one that I think we can all say that we've all grown up with and have easily been inspired by, at least, is the long battle between Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots, and Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. And Megatron has lived and will continue to live as being the main villain of Transformers. But the way that this toy has kind of really been made out, and the way that it's interpreted, it's a bit of a failed experiment for all different reasons, and it's from a line that a lot of people have a lot of problems with. I didn't mind it at first, but as soon as the line came to me, I was like, that's kind of shit. And that line is, of course, the Titanium series, and the Titanium series, of course, anyone who doesn't really know, is a line of partially die-cast figures, produced under Hasbro's Galoob brand as a subdivision of Micro Machines. It was kind of a way of really capturing the essence of what the G1 toy line had, which was figures with die-cast bits in the body and the legs and whatnot. And the line, the Titanium series, was mostly consisting of nothing but Star Wars figures from various sizes, and expanded to Battlestar Galactica vehicles and Marvel characters, and as well as Transformers. Mostly in particular the Robot Masters, which was about 3 inches, which were kind of okay, I guess. And most of all the Cybertron Heroes, which were 6-inch transformable die-cast figures, which were mostly based off of were new models by Don Figueroa. And the way that this figure has kind of really had its turnabout. It's not a good figure, but it's one that I kind of really had to pick up because it's so bad, and I just want to tell you how bad it is. And that figure, of course, without going into too much information, because I've kind of really dragged this on a little bit, Titanium War Within Megatron. And Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first question you're probably wondering is, what on earth was going through your mind when you wanted to pick this figure up? Well, every toy collector has to at least own one bagged figure just to give you an idea of what went wrong, or at least what was going through Hasbro's mind when they were making things like this. The Titanium line has no good figures. I can think of a few. War Within Jetfire, I think, is okay, I guess, and Cheetor, Beast Machines Cheetor is not bad. But there are a lot of bad figures out there in that line. Optimus Prime, War Within Optimus Prime being one of them. Megatron's figure is one that I really think could have been very good, but it's just really, really bad. We all know who Megatron is. Anyone that's grew up with Transformers over the years will know straight away who this character is. He's the leader of the Decepticons, the main bad guy, the bad mamma jamma. Just the guy who pretty much is in charge of the Decepticon uprising from the get-go. His whole role in War Within is pretty much as he is. He's the Decepticon leader. And the way that this figure has got it played out is it just looks really, really bad. And there's no positive things that I can think of except for the fact that, okay, I will say one thing. When you're talking about Megatron from the Titanium line, there's this one, which I'm currently talking about right now, and the Megatron, which was, it was inspired by the Dreamwave comics of the first G.I. Joe crossover, and it was basically just a box, and it was set in an alternate reality World War II, which was kind of a box tank thing, and a lot of people have a lot of problems with that figure because it falls apart during transformation, and it just looks really, really shit. This one, it doesn't fall apart, but at the same time it just looks a bit gangly and just really unimpressive. Detail, of course, let's talk about the lovely detail on this figure. The detail on this figure isn't really that bad. It's well established, it's got some nice paintwork, it's really, really well handled. But, of course, the tank mode, Megatron's tank mode is, of course, a Cybertronian tank, so he has pretty much got a Cybertronian mold. It's not bad, it's not a bad representation, but it just looks so crap. One in particular, this back part, which is of course going to be the legs in robot mode. They do not hold very well together, even though in between you can kind of see that there's a peg which holds these two together, hold together, and can just fall apart instantly, like that. So yeah, and of course not only that, it can just kind of just dangle up and it just move up and down, which is really, it's not very well held together. Again, this figure is not very well held together. It hides the robot mode very well enough, but the thing, well, actually no, sorry, take that back. The way that this looks, it looks like Megatron just fell down on his back whilst he was in mid-transformation. It was like, I can't be bothered to move, so, yeah, this is really not that good. It's got the Megatron colors, but it just doesn't feel like Megatron because it's really badly interpreted. Not much I can say except that, of course, like most tank formers, the treads don't move, they're just painted on, and of course at the bottom you see the wheels right there. And it doesn't have the robot mode very well because, like I said, regarding the fact that he just looks like he's fell on his back, there's the robot head right there, the arms are hidden underneath these pieces, and there's the chest right there. So yeah, not a good toy, not a good alt mode. The alt mode for this is really unimpressive, really bland to look at. Now, with that out of the way, let's get on to the robot mode, because the badness continues. Part of the legs, first of all, part of the feet, and then of course, take this piece off, and move these parts, which are for some reason on a bulge, I don't really know why. These, of course, can move from side to side, which is okay, I suppose. And, of course, move the chest around, and then lift this bit up. There you go. And here, just moving just getting the arms out from the back, is Megatron, Titanium War with Megatron in his robot mode. And, yeah... it's not good. It's really not good. Let's look at the head sculpt first of all, because the head sculpt actually isn't really that bad. I don't know if you can see it or not, but of course it's Megatron. He's got a very Megatron-esque built head, Megatron built helmet, Megatron face, just everything you would expect Megatron to be, which is okay, I guess. And of course on the chest there's a Decepticon symbol and a little bit of Megatron-esque detail right there on the chest right there. Just quite good, I suppose. But other than that, there's nothing I can say about this figure that will say... there's nothing I can say about this figure which is good. It's really not that good. Aside from that, there really isn't anything else I can say except for the fact that, of course, since he's got a lot of ball joints, he is posable, I guess, but the way that this is badly represented, it just looks really awful. It's not that good. Articulation for the most part is that the arms are quite on the... Arms, of course, are on a ratcheted joint, so they can kind of move the full 360, and elbow articulation is not that great, I suppose. Other joints, knees are crunchy at best, and of course are on a swivel joint so they can move from side to side. Let's try and get this guy in a pose just to make him look at least a bit presentable. Of course, one other thing as well, this piece, which is of course the tank turret, can also be detached, and you have his, I wouldn't say his fusion cannon, because this would be his fusion cannon if it would fit into the arm, but it's more like his, arm cannon, so, and because he has a shoulder cannon on the shoulder, so there you go. And this, I guess, is his shield. I don't really know why Megatron would need a shield, but then again, since he was a gladiator once upon a time, so, yeah. Here's Megatron, in one of his poses that you can put him in. This is a shit figure. I'm not impressed with this. This is really not that good. There's nothing else I can say about this figure which is redeeming. It's badly made, it's got nice articulation, but there's a lot of things about this figure that I feel could have been very good if the design, if the production value on this was much more higher, because I think the titanium line could have been very good if the figures were okay as well. But other than that, this figure is just not that good. It's unbalanced, it looks just gangly and very limp, and a bit gammy in a lot of places. Just a bad figure. And the only good thing about it, though, is it comes with a stand, like most of the titanium figures do. Here's the stand, of course, with the Decepticon logo and Megatron's name right there. And of course, this can be detached, so which is okay, I guess. But then let's get him on the stand just to finish this off. Yeah, no, it's not good. It doesn't even make up for the fact that you got a good stand with a bad figure on top of it. No, I'm sorry, but no. This is a bad representation of how you do Megatron in his Cybertronian mold, and it just looks like it had a lot of potential, but I think it just failed to really live up to the name. And here's the thing, this is Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. You want to make sure that he has at least one good toy. In all the years he's had so many different toys. And with this being a Cybertronian mold, and with this being Megatron before he came on Earth, you would think that he actually would get a better toy, and in fact he does. Wolf of Cybertron Megatron is a far better representation of how you take Megatron in a Cybertronian mold and make something better out of it, and much better articulation and detail. This... choose which one you think is better, because honestly, this one has it going. It's a much better representation of Megatron in a Cybertronian mold. This one, on the other hand, is a piece of crap. Would I recommend it? No. Don't buy it. Stay away from the titanium line and stay away from this figure. I didn't pay much money for this figure when I got it, so I just got it just to look at and go, this is shit. So there you go. This has been Titanium War Within Megatron. Stay away from him. He's a terrible, terrible figure. And I am Skull140. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you all soon. Take care.